Back with us on the SportsMax Zone. The magical Lionel Messi came off the bench to score his 89th and 90th international goals on Tuesday night against the Reggae Boyz inside the Red Bull Arena in New Jersey. The result saw Argentina, the 3-0 result, saw Argentina extend their unbeaten run to 35 games, 3 shy of Italy's record of, two shy of Italy's record of 37, and 3 shy of owning the record outright. Now, the Reggae Boyz fell behind to a strike from Manchester City forward Julian Alvarez in the 13th minute, but managed to keep the Argentines at bay for the rest of the first half. Messi was summoned from the bench in the 56th minute, and after livening proceedings, scored a brace in the space of 3 minutes late in the contest. Now, despite tasting defeat in his first game in charge, the head coach, Jaime Hallgrimsson, said the team performed well.
What we were asking for was a good team performance, especially defending a good opponent like Argentina. And I think we did. We kept them away from goal-scoring chances until the 80th minute, and then they have a guy who can convert chances to goals. And yeah, but I'm really unhappy with the 3-0. But I'm happy with the performance. I'm happy with the effort from the players and commitment from the players. And they were trying to do what we asked them for sure. I think defensively, good team performance. Going forward, especially attacking third, we need to connect a little bit better. We wasted some good chances to create and to get crosses in, etc.
Hallgrimsson was also pleased with the way his team carried out his tactical instructions.
I think we played a good team defending, so we closed them down pretty well, and we are not closing anyone down. This is one of the best teams in the world at the moment, and for me they are possibly World Cup winners in Qatar. They have the potential to win the World Cup, so we will close in one of the best attacking teams in the world, pretty good, for 80 minutes. So now we are sending a guy to FIFA to ask for all games now to be only 80 minutes.
Jaime Hallgrimsson showing that he does have a humorous side to him. Lance, you saw that game. Well, we watched that game in different places, of course. Your assessment of how the Reggae Boyz acquitted themselves over the course of the 90.
Well, let's start with our look ahead to the game, because our projection for the game, we had accepted that it would be unwise to expect too much from the Reggae Boyz under their new coach against a world-class Argentina team. And what we saw pretty much played that out. Obviously a superior team, Argentina. The Jamaicans, for the most part, tried to be as compact as they could have been, tried to be as quick and in recovery mode a lot of times in their defensive zone. And for long periods, they did reasonably well with that. But in the general outplay, it was obvious that the skill level and the ball handling ability of the Argentines were significantly superior to the Jamaicans. And I agree with Coach Hallgrimsson that the 3-0 margin could be a little disappointing from his standpoint, but it was not completely unexpected. And I don't think I agree with him that it was a flattering result for Argentina. They look clearly to me the better team, and 3-0 looked like an okay result for me.
Yeah, that's the only point of departure from the coach. I thought we started a good team. And again, you know, when I look at the Reggae Boyz individuals, look at the starting 11. Nicholas Antonio up front, Bailey, Morrison, Johnson, Reed across the middle.
Solid.
And across the back, Bell, Brown, Lowe, Mariappa, Andre Blake in goal. Jamaica has good players. Each of these guys as individuals are good players, and some who are at the very top level. Antonio and Leon Bailey, of course, playing at the top level. Shamar Nichols not far from the top level. And Ravel Morrison, of course, we know his history. Jamaica has good players, which is why the Jamaican fans get so frustrated with the bad results and bad performances. Now, so he started a good team last night, and as you said, we predicted the script. Not because we're geniuses, even though we are, but because Hallgrimsson said his approach would have been conservative. So we interpreted that and we got it right. I thought the performance wasn't bad. I'm telling you that I saw there were moments in the game where, not sustained passages, but there were moments where a team with more time on the training ground with more rehearsal. There's a reason why I use that out of all of the words I could use to indicate cohesion and togetherness and Rennie Simoes' favorite word, chemistry. There's a reason why I've plumped for rehearsal, because maneuvers need to be rehearsed, Lance. You need to rehearse who is going to run off the ball where. You need to rehearse which space is going to be occupied by who and what kind of pass to play there, how that man likes the ball to be played. Does he like it on the half turn? Does he like it at feet, right between both feet? Does he like it into space to run the channel? Those moves are rehearsed. With more rehearsal, we could have been even better. And you could see that Argentina was like a team that had a glove, a mink glove. Mink gloves are usually mink gloves are sometimes form-fitting. Leather gloves can be just big. So you put your hand in and it fits. It feels almost as if nothing is on your hand. That was Argentina. We were a baby's hand into a workman's glove. There was a lot of space and the whole hand is in one finger of the glove. That's what we were, because of the lack of rehearsal. And you could see that. So I'm saying what I saw last night suggests that Hallgrimsson with time can fashion this team into a strong unit, because the basic building block of a good team is good players. We have good players, as evidenced in that game on Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything you've said. I think there is still, to me, even though they're good players, a gap between the quality of the Jamaicans to the Argentines.
No doubt.
And we saw that in the World Cup qualifiers as well, where teams looked a little bit more skillful and a little bit more assured on the ball.
Are you sure, Lance? Because
Yes.
here's the thing. Here's why I stressed that about rehearsal and cohesion. Because remember, and this is a point you accepted then for the World Cup qualifiers. You accepted that at the start of the World Cup qualifying section, Jamaica was the only team that fielded at 11 for their first game that had never played before.
Yes.
And there were numerous games over the course of the whole World Cup qualifying campaign where the 11 chosen by, whether it was Whitmore or Whitmore saw it through. Paul Hall came
to the back end.
the back end, right. There were numerous times under Whitmore and then Paul Hall where a different 11 played the games, and the 11 that played had never played before.
Yes.
None of the other teams had that handicap. So again, the cohesion, you're a football man, Lance, you know that cohesion means a lot. And in cohesion and being familiar with your opponent and with a system that you're playing. Remember, there was no Hallgrimsson system that they were interpreting last night.
Yes.
It was just to not get embarrassed. So there wasn't time for a system to get in place, and there wasn't time for the rehearsal and the cohesion. So I see the point you're making, but I just want to make it clear. I just wanted to make it clear that you are not saying that the team is a mishmash, because there are countervailing factors that cause a team to not be as cohesive as the others.
Yeah, the full stop point that I would make on it really is that for decades that I've been watching Jamaica play football,
I know where you're going.
I continuously see them give the ball away too often, and our top class opponents tend not to do that. And that is part of the reason why the Jamaicans haven't been successful.
I don't know if I told you, but I saw Damien Lowe. I was hosting an event for Digicel. It was Bounty Killer's 50th birthday.
Yes.
And I was doing some online work for Digicel, our parent, down at Digicel headquarters. And Damien Lowe came through. And he was screaming when he saw me, because he was saying, "Boy, can't believe you're beating my bad and Raven." So I said, "But Damien, we're talking about the long pass." And I said, "Damien, I counted the passes.
Yes.
If you made 30 long passes over the whole series,
Yes.
you connected on less than 10%.
Yes.
And for a player at your level,
Not acceptable.
that's not good enough.
Yes.
Yeah. And you saw sometimes last night the long pass didn't work. And then Hallgrimsson was correct, Lance, to point out that on the offensive end, when the ball transitioned from the back to the front, whether it came by a long ball or via dribble and link play, Leon Bailey, Michael Antonio, Bobby Reed, the cohesion, it just wasn't there. The forward would run inside, the pass would go outside. He'd run outside, the pass would go inside.
Yeah.
He'd want the ball on the half turn, the ball is played down the line for him to chase. And so those things will come. Clearly, Argentina are a much better team than us. Argentina are a much better team than most teams that we've seen.
They're one of the favorites to win the World Cup.
There you go.
And the Jamaicans aren't at the World Cup.
So I'm just saying that. Is there time for you to talk about the events after the game?
I'm sure there is, George.
He said yes. Oh,
yes.
Because that's what they...
You know that the producer would
Lance,
want to include that, George.
Lance.
Yes, George.
Lance, I'm troubled.
Why, George?
Because Jamaica, the culture of Jamaica is to not be overawed by anything and anybody. And here's what I'm going to tell you now. Were I the JFF, without even asking the players and the support staff, I would have known that men and the women who would make up the contingent would want to be seen in a picture with Lionel Messi. No problem. I would do as other national teams have done in the past by reaching out to the Argentine FA, their manager, then who travels with the team, and say, listen, when the game is finished, clearly both teams are retreating to a dressing room inside the New York Red Bulls, the New York Red Bulls Stadium.
Yes.
When we get there, I'm going to ask Messi to come over to our dressing room if he doesn't have any anti-doping duties to do, or even after that, and just to take a couple of pictures with our boys and our support staff, and if there's any exchange of gear or whatever, let's do that. And you know why I would do that, Lance? Because it's not an original thought. Football has been played for centuries all around the world, from South America all around the world. From the moment it started in China, the first time they kicked a pig's bladder and called it football. Well, the UK. The fact of the matter is, that's how those things are organized. Because you don't want the impression to be given that you are some fanboys. You are, for a moment, Lance, I thought yesterday wasn't Tuesday. I thought it was Friday. The way the men were behaving. Yeah? So I'm saying I would have organized it like that to spare the blushes of my staff and to not make it look too bad. That's what I would have done, because these scenes are unbecoming, lads.
Unbecoming, George?
Yes, sir.
No, I don't think I agree. George, quite frankly, I'm appalled at the uproar that this has caused. I understand the point there you're making about the fanboys and so on. But the uproar that I'm hearing, I don't agree with it.
How can you not?
I hear terms like disgusting and behaviour by the Jamaican contingent for swarming Messi for his autograph.
Lance, you don't swarm Messi, Lance. Why are you swarming Messi?
But George,
yeah.
I've counted at least 39 times,
yes,
including today's show,
yes,
where you have called him Ball Jesus.
Yes.
So why would they not worship him?
Here's the thing.
You call him Ball Jesus,
yeah,
George. You call him Ball Jesus.
Yeah.
No, to Caribbean football, Messi is iconic. And we know that Messi's days are numbered.
Yeah.
It isn't likely that many of these players will come in contact with Messi again.
Yes.
So I'm not surprised by the scenes I saw. I don't think it was the best way to behave.
But Lance,
given what you've said about looking like fanboys and so on. But the uproar,
Lance,
George, the uproar that I'm hearing is over the top. Over the top.
Lance, if you accept the course of action that I suggested at the start, and I don't see any reason why you wouldn't, that it should have been organized between team managements, because they have been...
but it wasn't. So what we saw yesterday means that wasn't done.
And that's the point I'm making.
Yes.
So the management left us in the position where men behaved the way they did. That's one thing. Messi's designation as Ball Jesus, yeah, is fair, because guess what? I mean, Lance, it's only in this part of the world. Jesus is one of the most common names in Latin America. Yes. In the same, there are more people named Jesus in Latin America than there are people named Lance in this part of the world. And Lance is a very popular name.
And you say that to say what, George?
So I say that to say that to designate Messi Ball Jesus is not to make it look as if, boy, being...
That's inferred. But that is inferred, George.
Being a football deity means you should throw yourself at his feet. So I put in context the fact that in the same way you wouldn't see someone named Jesus in Panama and fling yourself at his feet and ask him for his autograph because he's named Jesus, you shouldn't do that to Messi. Lance, I'm saying to you, when you put yourself in a position like that, Messi remembers the occasion. Oh yeah, that time when I was, oh my God, the final whistle went and I was bombarded by Jamaicans asking me to sign this, asking me to sign that, people speaking in broken Spanish, people shoving this in my face, people putting me on a phone. It doesn't look good, Lance, because guess what?
But you're singling out Jamaicans, George. He would have encountered that many other places.
No, but I'm saying...
So what he experienced last night would have been one of many other occasions when he would have...
No, Lance.
Found the same sort of
Lance,
reaction.
notice this. I asked our social media guy, Daniel Ravioli Adams, to check the social media account of Ravel Morrison, Michael Antonio, Leon Bailey, to see if they saw any material that they posted with Lionel Messi as evidence that they took pictures with him. Nothing. Several of the other players, several of the other support staff, those guys understand the thing. How do you know that a player of Leon Bailey's profile didn't take on Messi off camera, behind the scenes? Because that's where you do it, Lance. You don't make it look as if...
But, George, you just mentioned players who are top-flight players. And Jamaica is not a top-flight football place. Jamaica as a country is not a top-flight football place.
Lance, we
have some top-flight players.
We can't surrender. We can't surrender dignity as we appear to do there.
So that was undignified?
That's exactly what I said. Yes, because remember,
George, at the end of a game, there are pleasantries.
Yes.
In the same way that people exchange jerseys and so on. This happened at the end of a game.
Retreat to the stadium and do it. Retreat to the bowl of the stadium and do it.
Messi is not normal.
Yes.
And there are many people in the Jamaican contingent who aren't Leon Bailey's or Mikel Antonio's, who are at the top flight of their professional game, who felt it necessary to
ask the management to organize for Messi to come to the dressing room at the end of the game. He would have. He's a man
anyway, George.
He can't be anyway, Lance. He can't be anyway. That's the point.
I know, but I just want to emphasize the point that I'm making.
Yes.
That I'm not saying that the narrative that you're portraying is incorrect. What I'm saying is that the uproar and people saying they were disgraceful, disgusting, and undignified, way over the top. I think that is being extreme in reacting to how the people behave.
For the culture of Jamaicans,
yes,
and I'm talking about Jamaicans here, and I can extend it to Caribbean people, because Caribbean people are not overawed by celebrity.
Generally not.
When the SportsMax team was out in St. Mary at the Rockabessa, working on the James Bond project, and Daniel Craig, one of the biggest movie stars in the world and one of the biggest movie stars in the last 15 years because of his work in the James Bond franchise. Went to buy jerk chicken and pork nearby and a red stripe beer. It was a normal man. Hey, yeah man, James Bond, what you want? And sympathy. Daniel, I'll give you the example of Leonardo DiCaprio at Burger King in Negril. Ordinary guy. Oh, you're the man in Titanic. Oh, how can I help you? Oh, have a nice day. Simple.
Yes.
Jamaicans are not known for being celebrity mad in the way that nationals of many other countries are, because that's just not our culture. So I can understand people who see people behaving like that way saying, wait, what's this?
But you know, George, the two references that you just made about DiCaprio
and Daniel Craig.
And Daniel Craig.
Yes.
You know what I could respond by saying?
Please do respond.
That what we saw yesterday shows that Lionel Messi is 10 times the star.
No, that's not the point.
But I'm just saying that is what triggered the players and the team
that's not the point.
Response.
The point is that people interacted with global superstars, and nobody who saw Daniel Craig say, you know what, I'm not going to rush him for his autograph because he's not Lionel Messi. Nobody said that. Yeah? The point is that people have been in touch, arm's length, of big stars in Jamaica and acted normally because that's our culture.
I know. I'm saying you keep using terms. You say I'm suggesting to you that Lionel Messi is more than just a big star to our football community.
Not because Lionel Messi is more than a big star. You shouldn't have asked your management to organize where you could in a dignified way. You can't pass that because that's why we're here talking about this.
No, but I'm saying
that's why we're here.
I've already accepted that should have been the better procedure for the JFF to ensure that it happened that way. I'm saying it did not happen that way.
Yes.
And then what we saw
doesn't look good.
We are hearing that it was disgraceful, it was disgusting, and it was undignified.
Yes.
Those terms are over the top, George.
I cannot
over the top.
Last thing I say is I can accept people finding it unpalatable and then using some descriptors that may stoke the fires of your anger, is what I'll say. I can understand.
Unpalatable sounds a little bit more easy.
A little bit more palatable.
Yes.
A little bit more palatable.
Yes.
Unpalatable sounds a little bit more palatable.
Yes.
Let's leave it at that.
I would say that, George.
Let's leave it at that.